Talk about this subject a lot between this channel and the main channel as well. Sorry about that. But yeah, homeschooling. There's a lot of concern when it comes to public schooling, and really its rapid deterioration over probably the past 10 years or so. I don't know, I've been out of the system for a little while now, since 2008 when I graduated, so all I've been able to see is just secondhand information at best when it comes to what's going on nowadays. And you know what? Homeschooling, that idea and that stigma of just those weird kids that went homeschooling, that's really kind of fallen by the wayside, especially because of the weirdos that get churned out of the public school system. So if you have the means, if you have the time, and if you have the available resources to do it, and it's not really that hard, or rather that high of a barrier of entry when it comes to homeschooling. So especially if you have your kids, do consider taking a look at this. Veteran homeschoolers around the world share a well-kept secret that I'm going to let you in on, according to Karen Dahl, the author of this article, Year-Round Homeschooling. I don't know why you'd want to year-round it, but okay. I know this might sound challenging, but it might actually revitalize your homeschool. First, let's define year-round homeschooling. All right, basically you do school from January through December, but instead of taking off during the summer months, you take regular shorter breaks throughout the year. That's fine. Families choose to homeschool year-round for a variety of reasons, but here are some of the more common reasons. All right, flexibility. One of the biggest advantages of homeschooling year-round is the flexibility it gives you. Life happens, so that when you're hit with emergencies or illness, all right, you always have ample time. That makes sense. You also have the freedom to create a family-friendly schedule that best matches your lifestyle. And then also, okay, I'm going to cut this one a little bit short. The real world doesn't work with a 2-month break in the middle of it, or an extended break at Christmas and then one again in Easter. Doesn't really play out well with the rest of the world. So if the entire purpose of school is to set kids up for the rest of their life, why are you just drilling into their head that they're going to have 2 months off in the middle of the year? It doesn't really happen, especially early in your career. So yeah, that flexibility there to present a much more complete picture of real life, you should probably go ahead with that. The benefits of routine. Yeah, also, exactly, just extrapolating on that idea as well. Just getting into the routine of doing something every single day. Why not, okay? Why be forced to just maintain the same weird confines from outdated ideas such as the public school system? Doesn't really make sense. Kids thrive on routine, certain structure, all right. Year-round homeschooling allows your family to follow the same routine all year long. When kids know what to expect from them, they are more likely to have a positive can-do attitude. They're able to focus better at the task at hand, whether that be schoolwork, completing a chore, or practicing a sport or a musical instrument. They tend to manage their time much better. With year-round homeschooling, there is no sleep-wake cycle transition period between the beginning of summer vacation and the first day of school. Yep. Kids simply move more easily from school day to school day, no matter the season. The regular routine is especially comforting for kids with special needs. Yeah, okay, can't really speak to that. Don't really care to speak to it as well. Consistent instruction. Yeah, you don't have to hand your kid off, especially at the end of a traditional school year, to some other weirdo who might teach at a completely different pace and use a completely different style. You can just grow with your kids, okay? You're teaching, you know what you need to teach, and then you can just teach as according to their ability, not to, Timmy the super slow kid and then leave all of your more gifted students behind. As a consequence, and consistent instruction helps keep kids on track. Long summer breaks disrupt the natural flow of learning, and depending on your child or upon the child, some are able to start back up in the fall without much review, but many simply can't. Studies show that students typically forget 25 to 30% of what they learned the previous year in core subjects such as math and language arts. That makes sense. For year-round homeschoolers, September is just another month in the school year and not jam-packed with reviewing. You and your kids can simply focus on moving forward each day. Yeah, that actually seems to make a lot of sense. The gift of time. All right. I bet you can often find yourself wishing that there were more time in the day. I know, right? There's just so many things to do. Ugh. Try parsing down all the stuff that doesn't much matter. Well, year-round homeschooling is the gift of time. You have the entire year's worth of days to complete a typical 9-month-long curriculum, which allows you to hit the pause button if your kids need extra help with a specific concept or subject, or they want to delve deeper on a topic of interest. The revel in the gift of serendipity. Go ahead and carpe diem that gorgeous, moving along, summer homeschooling. All right. So then also, because I'm kind of dunking on the idea of 2 months in the middle of the year, doesn't really make a lot of sense. You know what you can also do? You can take the learning on the road. Doesn't that sound, that at least sounds beneficial, and that you're not having totally worthless downtime. So that's what they're speaking to on this issue. Know what you're thinking? No, isn't a typical summer school. Summer homeschooling is a new and improved version of summer learning. Summer homeschooling is the unique experience, as different as every homeschooling family is from one another. As for the author's family, we chose to focus on core subjects of math, language arts, and emphasis on daily reading and journaling throughout the week. Mixed in some kitchen science and fine arts, and took field trips to fascinating historical landmarks, museums, and cultural festivals. Like many year-round homeschoolers, we kept the same routine, but tweaked the schedule a little bit to fit a lighter workload. The afternoons were then open for kids to explore their interests, pursue a hobby, and work on a project. Yeah, seems pretty good. And even if the kids were busy with summer activities, day camp, and sports, they can count as school. All right. If you think about it, year-round homeschooling is like dress rehearsal for real life. So I was pointing out at the beginning. All right, real life doesn't take off for the summer, and bosses won't excuse you for a long summer break. That's why you need to work for yourself. Life is a perpetual balancing act of work and play. So what you're really doing when you choose to homeschool in this way is setting your kids up for a successful life, more so than a antiquated system that was created in Chicago in the 1910s to create factory workers instead of fully functioning members of a modern society. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.